The Antigua Winds ProOne Alto Saxophone is the epitome of unique features combined with consistent pricing and some of the strongest playings you'll find in an alto saxophone of this quality. Well, today we're going to be looking at its new version, the AS6200 AME Series 2 from Antigua Winds. Let's check it out. Howdy everybody, my name is Andrew King. We're here at Alamo Music. Don't forget to visit us at alamomusic.com where we have both of these beautiful saxophones and so much more for you to choose and peruse. Today we're going to be talking about the Antigua Winds Alto Saxophone, the ProOne. And we actually have a very unique item right here. And with that, a unique guest. This is Devin Pelton. What's going on, man?
Not a thing. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
So Devin Pelton is the Antigua Winds, what would you say, the guru, the representative?
I know some stuff about
You know some stuff.
Yeah,
You know some
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and just look at it. Let's go ahead and dive in. So this is the original ProOne Alto Saxophone. So tell me about it. Let's kind of do a little review of what we got going on.
Sure. This really has got a lot of people's attention because of where the price point falls.
Absolutely.
And I've heard people comparing this instrument to much more expensive instruments, and this comes out on top in many cases. The Mr. Ponzel, Peter Ponzel, was instrumental in designing this. This is his brainchild. A lot of the items that are found on this saxophone, he had been thinking about for a long time, and really it was probably 12 years ago or so that we started construction on this instrument, and then it hit the market and it's been doing great. The thing that Peter Ponzel is, one of the things he's very well known for is his neck. The neck is the first thing in establishing what the instrument does to the sound because of the conical design of the neck and what airflow that it establishes. Of course, the first conical spot is your setup. We've talked about that, you know, your mouthpiece, your reed, and your ligature. But once we get that vibration, we send it through the very first part of the instrument, this neck. It's vital that that neck is dimensionally sound and it sends the vibration through the instrument. So the Peter Ponzel neck is a huge part of why we've had such success with this instrument. Some of the other things, his brainchild was, I hate when my C-sharp key sticks, so he designed a mechanism that it teeters on that key, so it makes it impossible for that key to stick while it's being played. The way we do the tone holes with the rolled tone holes and the facing of the tone, everything is different about this instrument, and we consider it an improvement to many our other instruments in the line, the Power Bells, the Series 25, some of the other instruments. This instrument is, I mean, the selling points of the trident arms and things like that, most people are aware of that. What the trident arm does is think about pushing something up and down like this versus pushing it up and down like this, where we can really adjust and dial it in. So the bottom range of this really speaks out. This is what I would consider a traditional saxophone sound. How do you feel about the sound that you get on the ProOne Series 1, the original?
The ProOne Series 1 is probably one of my personal favorite saxophones, only because the neck taper allows for a really good free blow. It's not too much resistance or anything, which is nice. You also get, because of the rolled out tone holes, you get a lot more contact with the pad. It's easier to seal. I think this is a great kind of road horn. I think that you take this out on the road.
Yeah. I like that, road horn.
And so you take this out to tour or anything like that and play. You have the G-sharp lifting mechanism. It makes it easy to play. It's not too heavy or anything like that. Now, you get a nice focused tone out of it, right? It's
very
free
traditional,
blowing, but focused, right?
Yeah.
So even if I'm playing with like a lead mouthpiece or if I'm playing with a classical mouthpiece, I know that this instrument is going to play reliably and do what I ask it to do, but at a really nice high level. Also, the action feels great on these saxophones. As I said, it's not too heavy. You would think with like a G-sharp lifting mechanism, the G sharp would feel real heavy.
Some people do.
But with this one, man, it just feels nice.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it. But I do see that we have this horn over here. So let's go ahead and talk about what do we got going on over
How do we improve on perfection, right? So we are just recently have started production parallel with, not replacing, but right along with our ProOne is our Series 2. And some of the highlights of this instrument are ergonomic design changes and a couple things that really have some vibrance, add some body to the sound. Andrew talked about this almost as a covered sound, almost as a dark sound, right?
It's very focused.
And you grab this horn and it's built to the same standards. It's got the same, many of the same features. We're featuring the Ponzel neck. If you notice, the lacquer on this instrument's a little darker. We went with a little darker lacquer on it. And while we're talking about looks, the engraving on this instrument is just beautiful. I mean, it's all the way up and down the instrument. It's a work of art. It's fun to watch them do it, and it's fun to see the finished product.
The hand-done engravings, especially on the bell here, this beautiful kind of moon indentation, and especially when you're coming out into the bell. I also really enjoy how they did the markings on the keys.
On the keys themselves.
It's just absolutely beautiful. I love it.
It is. It really is a work of art.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys that are doing it are definite artists.
Oh, dude, and there's so many cool videos you can see of them in the actual factory.
Right.
Actually engraving it. And then, yeah, no, exactly.
So, aesthetically, it's very pleasing. Playability-wise, some people have like the touch of this, like the feel of this a little better because it's a little. Did you feel when you were playing is a little bit more tighter grip? Maybe somebody with a smaller hand. I mean, because we've relocated some of the keys. We've moved, for ergonomic reasons, some of them up and down, so it's a little tighter, a little closer grab. You know, you can feel that.
Yeah, so especially when you grab it onto your hands and everything like that. The original ProOne, if I were to give it a word, and saxophone players do enjoy this, is not a chunky feeling, but a very full feeling, right, in your hand. With this one, it feels very more akin to what I would like a traditional Japanese saxophone would feel, right? You got a little bit more closer to the body, a lot easier
Tighter
to kind of
feel?
Yeah, absolutely. The action's really nice, very smooth playing up and down.
Right.
Yeah, man, and especially the angling of some of the keys are a little different too. I see that you got the little C key is a little out.
Yeah.
The F sharp, your fork F sharp is also it's a little more perpendicular to the angle of what your fingers would be doing in that case. I also like the G sharp hook. That's really nice. Yeah, this is actually a very nice feeling horn.
Well, the feedback that we got from you and other salesmen that work, and pros, a lot of pros, about the ProOne. Man, if you if you could just, some of them like a more lively sound. They like the sound that just really jumps out. We've done some things in this instrument that facilitate more vibration through the instrument. So when you play it, you can really feel the. You know, I heard one guy talk to me about when he's playing low on this instrument in particular. He said it was akin to a well-tuned V8. Because it just really rumbled in his hand, and the feel was, he said it was amazing. And that's why he ended up with this instead of the Series 1. Another thing that we did that was, there were a couple guys that were taking that key off, that C sharp or G sharp lifter key.
I see.
They were taking that off because they didn't really, think that its weight was a positive thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we did. So this instrument, you notice that key has been removed, and again, that's one of the things that whenever you lighten up the materials and the construction of an instrument, you change the vibration. Like I always say, everything is relevant. The amount of materials that are in an instrument is relevant to the sound, because a lighter instrument is going to be more vibrant, is going to vibrate more in your hands. Some people like the feel of that thing, like my buddy with the V8. So those things are all important. And the amount of weight that you have in an instrument and the materials that you make it out of are all relevant to the sound that you get. Because of removing, a couple extra things. And also another thing that I like to point out is this doohickey right here is called a hinge tube. It makes, when I wiggle something down here, it lets something up here wiggle. So that's technical talk.
Oh,
okay?
absolutely.
That's designed. I mean, I could tell you more, but the engineers would be mad at me. The material that we make these hinge tubes out of, unlike that's just a brass material. This is a nickel silver material. Nickel silver is harder than brass, therefore this long exposed hinge tube, as we're grabbing it and putting it on and off the stands, that's a little bit more rigid. So we don't have as many adjustment needs with this one.
Yeah.
So really the ProOne Series 2 is the player's choice. They like that. They like the beautiful sound of that, but they wanted just a little bit more life to the sound. A little bit more. You notice that it jumped out of your.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the niche that saxophone players, they're all different. And
I love them all.
Exactly. And so building a saxophone for one guy is easy. Building a saxophone for everybody is one of the hardest things you can possibly do.
Thank you.
So you can't really do that, right? That's why there's so many different brands, there's so many different philosophies on why you would build a saxophone and everything like that. Antigua in particular, though, I think, one, the price to quality is unmatched. It's definitely. The ProOne, I think, lends itself much more to your typical outgoing, playing every gig, outside, on the bus, going around town and everything like that, just doing everything.
Reliable.
Exactly. All reliable.
No, there you go.
Right?
Yep.
So this one definitely.
You called it a
lends
road horn.
It's a road horn.
I
man.
like that.
These are great, great saxophones. They play well. When we have this one, and you'll see in the video as soon as we get into it, this one definitely lends itself more to the studio player. The indoor musician that's playing with the ensemble, the player over the band, right? The solo instrument. This one is a beautiful, beautiful saxophone that is made to be on camera. It's made to be, your TikTok shorts, your Instagram shorts, all that kind of stuff. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous saxophone that is just made to be shown and made to be heard. I think that this is going to be cool. So let's go ahead.
Well, before you go on, thank you for
Sure.
that. I had a guy tell me, I'm amazed how many pros have reached out. That's evidently, the word's out that we're doing some cool stuff at Antigua. And it's been written that we're the brand to watch in 25 and beyond. So that's cool. But one of the guys told me that the difference between the two ProOnes is kind of like analog and digital. Would you agree with that? But the cleanness of sound, I mean, that just jumps out at you?
Yeah, I mean, and there's going to be people that would want either one, right?
Exactly.
And so it's not like one's going to be better than the other or anything like that. It's people, there's certain needs and certain niches that are going to be needed to be fulfilled. And these saxophones definitely fulfill that, especially in the saxophone world.
Right.
Especially for a strong alto. I mean, that's
strong
just
in the
one
price
that you
point
need.
we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is our first time of minor tweaking that doesn't involve color, really. I mean, we make a few colors.
Yeah. Absolutely.
On our Power Bell series, and those pigments in the lacquer, all affect the sound also. But to go with a little darker lacquer versus the other, the original amber is kind of a mild difference for us. Normally we really take a big, go pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's kind of what Antigua was known for. I mean, for me, like my personal thought about everything is lacquer and finishes and stuff like that, other than cosmetically for cleaning purposes and whatnot. It's very much for a personal preference of a saxophone player. If you think your horn looks cool,
Absolutely.
if you think your horn looks cool and you look cool playing it, you're going to be cooler playing it. Like, that's just how it works. This instrument is just different enough, especially with the darker amber color, your blue sandstone finishes on the key touches.
I like those. I
It's
think
just
that's
absolutely
sharp.
gorgeous. I think
Yeah.
that this really lends itself to being just an absolutely fantastic horn. So
Well, it's
let's go
great.
ahead. Let's take a listen and everything like that. We'll go ahead and close out after that and everything, and we'll be right
I
back.
can't wait. That was fun.
It's a really fun
that
horn.
that the differences in sound are, it's amazing. I mean, when you start to hear the timbre of sound. Now that was the same mouthpiece on both, right?
Absolutely.
The same setup.
Yeah, same setup and everything. I'm using just a normal, well, not normal. It's a good mouthpiece, but it's a New York Vintage Meyer 7 with a D'Addario Jazz Select 3S unfiled. Good stuff.
New York Vintage Meyer. That's not just a normal mouthpiece.
It's a little expensive, but
Yeah.
I got it as a beautiful gift, and I'm going to use it for
Nice.
the next 30 years of my life. I mean,
Nice.
it's a great mouthpiece.
Nice. Well, thank you for playing them, because we could really hear the difference in the liveliness, the response of the sound. It jumped out, and I appreciate you playing both of them to let us see which one. I mean, you said before that you can't really choose an instrument without touching it, feeling it, playing it.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things that in our industry, you have to touch it. You have to spend time. You have to try the different instruments that are out there and different brands that are out there, because one of them will be the sound that you have in your head that you can share with the rest of us. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Well, one of the main things about, especially for what we do here, right? We have an online store. I mean, the getting instruments over the web, getting instruments shipped to you, going to the store and everything. This is all part of a process, and so this is kind of these videos and everything, having a nice source to see someone play it, kind of talk about it, trust what's going on. It's good to have. We've played the ProOne, the original ProOne before. I've talked about like maybe 2 or 3 different versions of it at this point. It's still, as far as like price to quality, it plays just as good as any of the normal standard, your big brand, entry-level pro instruments, or if not better. There's a lot of great aesthetic things that I like about it. The Trident arms are extremely, and the G-sharp lifting mechanism are just so,
Workhorse.
they're just good things to have on a saxophone, especially if you're on the road. Your Peter Ponzel neck and the unique taper on it are great. When we get over to this one, you still get extremely good reliability. The instrument just plays really well. The ergonomics, I think, I enjoy the ergonomics on this a little better.
A little tighter, would you call it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the saxophones that I'm used to playing, I use a professional Yamaha on my alto. I use a professional Yanagisawa on my tenor. This is definitely more in line with those kind of more
Wow, thank you.
like Japanese line saxophones.
We'll take
These
that.
oh, dude, it's
For a quarter the
absolutely-
price? A third the price?
It's down there.
Yeah, baby.
And it's absolutely crazy that you can spend that kind of money and get this kind of horn, because when it comes to the saxophone, the deluge of horns that you see online, the deluge of horns that you see in your local music shop and everything, the prices are just getting higher and higher, and it's an unfortunate thing. But it's made this kind of unique space for something like Antigua Winds, where they're making these strong quality saxophones, bringing them over to the States, and just having strong quality. I mean,
Yeah.
you get honestly, I'm going to just call it a beautiful work of art here with this. This is a tattoo. I mean, this is just straight up a tattoo that I would see someone put on their body. Beautiful blue sandstone. I mean, it's just a gorgeous horn.
It's really Taiwan going, check this out.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that this is it's a very good, prestigious, trusted brand that brings out a lot of great things in it. There's just a lot of powerful.
Well, that's what we heard. We heard
yeah.
power
Yeah.
coming through on either of the instruments, and the trained ear can hear the difference, and definitely the player can feel the difference.
Yeah.
There's not one instrument that's right for everybody. So as you're looking for an instrument, your search needs to include a number of things. Don't go by price. Don't let the price tell you, oh, that's got to be a professional, because you would think ours are not, and they kind of are.
Well, they're definitely. So when it comes down to it, you just need to get an instrument that you know you can trust, that you know that's going to come out and play well for you. It's going to arrive at home, come with you in the car, whatever. It's going to be good to go in your hands right out of the box. And these are instruments that you can trust.
Cool. I'll
Devin?
take that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
Devin.
what
Well,
you guys do.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time and everything. We'll go ahead. Don't forget, leave a comment. Tell me which one did you think was the better one. I'd like to hear you on the comments and everything like that. Leave a like. If you can subscribe and hit the bell icon, that would be very appreciated. Helps us in the long run, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.